Philly took care of business in Philly against the Bills. Per usual, you probably thought they would have done that. But the Bills did play them close. It went into overtime. And now Josh Allen has 0 overtime wins throughout his career. He made a couple mental errors there at the end. Would you like to say anything to Bills fans to make it worse? Or
no, I don't want to make it worse. Listen, Josh Allen played really, really well in that game. I thought Josh Allen outplayed Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had a second straight really odd game where he did not play well at all to start the game and then made critical play after critical play late in the game. And the Eagles are just great at finding ways to win, and I give them massive credit. The Bills should have won that game. They are great at finding ways to lose games, but that wasn't on Josh Allen, the interception notwithstanding. But here is the part where Bills fans and I are going to agree. And I mentioned it on TV, and to me it is the story from the NFL weekend. Sean McDermott didn't trust Josh Allen at the end of that game. The Eagles are lining up for a 59-yard field goal. The Bills have 2 timeouts. The Eagles are down 3. McDermott, in my opinion, foolishly wastes one of those timeouts to ice the kicker, even though with 70 years of data, we have no data that supports icing kickers helps or hurts the proposition. It's just doing it to do it, and they burned a timeout that they could have used, and I would argue the Eagles, because they didn't have a timeout of their own, were happy the Bills called timeout so they could settle the whole situation down. So McDermott could have had the ball on the 25-yard line with 20 seconds left and 2 timeouts, where a field goal wins the game. Keep in mind, the Bills' best chance at a Super Bowl was ruined by Patrick Mahomes having the ball at the 25-yard line with 2 timeouts and 13 seconds left. You had a whole extra 7 seconds. Now, McDermott burns the 1 timeout. You still have 1 timeout, 20 seconds. Field goal wins you the game. To take a knee there with Josh Allen when he was playing as well as he is such an indictment on your faith in that quarterback. And while I've been critical of Josh Allen, the entire team is built around the idea that you have a superhero at quarterback. And for them to take a knee, and it's not like, oh, we have a ton of history of winning these games in OT. Sean McDermott's never won a single game in overtime as a head coach. Josh Allen's never won a single game in overtime as a starting quarterback. You don't have a ton of history of that. And with 20 seconds and even just the 1 timeout, you have the entire field to work with. You can throw over the middle, call timeout, get it around midfield, then try to work the sideline and try a 55-yarder to win the game. So listen, the Bills, DVOA says the Bills have a 14% chance of making the playoffs. The ESPN analytics folks say 15% chance. Vegas has the Bills at a 17% chance. The Bills have a 0% chance of making the playoffs. They're going to look back and say, we lost to Zach Wilson in overtime to start the year. We lost to Mac Jones and the Patriots. We gave a game away against Denver. We gave a game away against Philadelphia. Yeah, maybe we should be 9-3, but you're 6-6, and you're not going to have any tiebreakers because you have 5 conference losses. So at 10-7, you will not make it. The only way they could make the playoffs is going 11-6. And I'm here to tell you, a team that is 6-6 is not winning 5 straight when those games are at Kansas City, home for Dallas, at the Chargers, home for the Patriots, who are god-awful but beat you, and then at Miami. Just not happening. Like, people need to remove their Bayesian priors of what they thought the Bills were supposed to be and recognize this. If to make the playoffs, the Atlanta Falcons had to win 5 straight games, would you believe they could? Or the Green Bay Packers had to win 5 straight games, would you believe they could? Of course not. Well, they have the same number of losses as the Bills. If the Colts had to run the table to make the playoffs, would you believe in them? Of course not. They have a better record than the Bills. So yeah, no, the Bills are cooked. They're going to end up firing Sean McDermott, and we'll see if next year they can be the team that for 3 years, everyone in the media except for your trusty host, Nick Wright, has tried to convince you they are. They're a talented, underachieving team perpetually that also, by the way, is not nearly as talented as people made him out to be. Von Miller, unfortunately, is not the same player. And aside from Diggs and Allen, who do they have on offense that scares you? All right, let's go to the Eagles side of things, Demonte.
Eagles side of things. Oh, yeah. So the Eagles have the best record in football right now, and Jalen Hurts is in the running for MVP right now. They have a showdown with the Niners next. Who are you rooting for? Which one would scare you more in a Super Bowl rematch between the Niners or Eagles?
Well, neither would scare me, but the Eagles are a better team. And I'd be thrilled to play Brock Purdy in a Super Bowl. Sign me up. Sign me up for that. The Eagles won't be afraid of the moment. The Eagles have a super complete team. The Eagles have 2 stud receivers, and the Eagles are one of the most analytically savvy teams in the league. It's not just the brotherly shove stuff. It's all of their fourth down stuff, which not always, but they're typically super, super sharp on. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.